Welcome to GLL's PUBG Grand Finals Season 2. We are back at the desk with the last match of the day. We are now through almost 2 days, gentlemen. I'm Marissa Roberto. This right here is Toffees, and I am with Frost as well. Just breaking down Miramar here. We had a fantastic last match, match 5 of the day. Now we're getting to the last one. Game 12 total is about to be played. Very exciting. We saw FaZe take 2 matches today. I mean, there was a prediction that maybe they would take 5. Didn't really roll out that way, but they're still sitting at the #1 spot, sitting pretty up there, and it's hard to take down the king once they have confidence.
Unless they have some magical way to create more games today, I guess their prediction is not going to come true. But they played well.
Yeah, but we see them owning on Erangel.
Yes.
What's happening on Miramar?
I mean, this speaks to their... They're still in first place.
Oh, yeah.
This speaks to their strength as an Erangel team, just how freaking good they are, that even after dropping the ball at a 16 and a 10 on Miramar, they're still in first place. So these guys are very good at what they do. The question is, as we have literally 4 more games in this tournament of Miramar, they can't keep getting these sub-10th place finishes.
Or can they?
I mean, they can, but it's not going to work out well for them.
Or can they?
Or can
I'm not sure.
they?
Let's take a look at the boys right now as they're preparing for the next
Clash
matchup.
Royale.
And let's focus on Clash Royale. Let's focus on Jempty, because we got to see him with his brother playing bocce. Well, in Italy we play bocce. I'm not sure what they call it, but they were so sweet, just talking about, you know, their childhood and growing up, and you know, they used to play Halos and RuneScape. They're just like the sweetest guys ever. But of course they separated, playing on separate teams now, playing on 2 top tier teams. He's not paying, he doesn't want to give us the attention on the camera. But you guys obviously must have a lot of love for Jempty.
Oh yeah, Jempty's a really good guy, and we know that he can frag up. He's killing a lot of people here. What is he sitting on right now in the killer list? Like
so high.
4, 3, or 4
Much.
place?
Much.
Yeah, but we
Many.
see that from time to time, not only in this tournament, but other tournaments during the season as well. We've seen him popping off all the time.
I like that his flavor text is brother of Samty from Team Liquid. And, you know, a big shout out to their parents, because we're all PC gamers, so we know how hard it is to just buy the PC to be a gamer. And I'm sure his parents are like, why couldn't you have just been console gamers so you could share the damn system?
Wow.
So getting them 2 PCs, letting them be competitive and play RuneScape together growing up has turned them into 2 of the best players in PUBG. So their return on investment, rock solid.
I'm sure the Halo must have helped a lot as well.
That's probably why they played Halo.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, growing up, Halo, I mean, I'm not really a first-person shooter. I don't really gravitate toward that genre because I'm not the best at it, but that really helped me hone my skills and being able to shoot and being able to frag. So I'm just wondering if that kind of translated to, or they're just born with it. It's one of these innate things. You have good hand-eye coordination, you have good depth perception, you're a good gamer.
Maybe they're born with it, maybe it's Jempty. I mean, at the end of the day, these guys are natural gamers, and I even heard like Samty wasn't as into the whole pro thing as his brother was initially, but you know, he kind of dragged him along kicking and screaming to their first sort of stacked team, and then he fell in love with it. So it's one of those things, like, everybody has their game, and this just happened to be theirs.
And we saw them in the video before. They're competitive against each other.
Yep.
So
Yes.
both want to win all the time. And right now, we're seeing Jempty on top of Samty.
Well, we should see that now in the top fraggers here, see if they're still on the list, or one of the brothers. Anyway,
Oh, he
no,
dropped off.
fell
23.
off. Fell off. Wookie. Oh, he's got trouble.
He slipped down because Dignitas
slipped,
hasn't been going deep enough. And honestly, when you talk about kill counts, and if you want to be on the top, your team has to consistently be performing. You have to be getting to the top 5 to get a chance to get those kills. That's why we see Uba and Pokemaladoy get up there, because of the fact that they just won that. When they got to that last circle, they got to rack up the kills.
But also seeing this right now, we see the last 3 there are all on 19 kills.
I mean, of course, James just showing off. I feel like he's even better than what he's showing us. You know, like he's got all these skills just locked in his back pocket. Uba, I mean, that's the thing with Na'Vi. They're able to dominate because of all of these frags. Look at them. They've got 2 of them on the board right now.
You really like James. You like James,
I love James.
and Andy. You like that haircut. I think that's your style.
Maybe.
You like the fraggers with the cool hair.
I I
respect it.
I don't know. They're just entertaining in-game. When a player can entertain me in-game without even really doing much, that's something special. They've got charm in-game.
They do much, though. We did see James early on Erangel taking out Team Gates all by himself.
Yeah.
And that was really nice to see.
Honestly, you're not wrong. You've picked players that are known among the scene for being entertaining, for being flashy, for being guys that you want to tune into their stream because you want to see what crazy play they pull off next. James and Andy both do that crazy stuff in pro events. So it's always fun. I mean, you'll see it. When the observers see James throw a grenade, they follow it. Like, it's just one of those tenets of like, oh, James is prepping a grenade, get over there so we can film it, because he's probably going to get a double kill. And he's been doing that in this event. He has not let us down.
I mean, I love that. Oh, I'm hearing now that another player has a nosebleed. So
that'll happen.
Yeah, it's okay. It's high stakes, high pressure situation. We're playing video games all day. Sometimes, you know, we gotta take a little nosebleed break. I'm just kidding, Mom.
Bleed break.
It doesn't happen all the time. Don't be
it's
concerned
not that
for me.
Dangerous.
It's not that dangerous. It's okay. We're allowed to be gamers all day. It's fine. Now we get to talk just a little bit more about our excessive nosebleeds as gamers. I'm just kidding. Let's talk more about this next matchup here because it is very exciting. We're going into our last game of the day. This is now, we've made it more than halfway through. We're now 2/3 of the way through for this tournament. This is where the table is set, okay?
Yes.
We know now who's going to be sitting at it.
Rubber hits the road. This is the moment, right? It's a little sad for us because we're almost 2/3 way through. It's stressful for them. This is probably why the nosebleeds are happening because you know that after this next one, you only have your 6 games tomorrow to get yourself up the bracket. So the teams in the top 10, you have to finish today there. If you want to have your shot at the trophy, finish in the top 10. So these teams who are below that right now are going to come out aggressive, I think, in this game, and they have to if they want to try to take the trophy home.
One thing I want to mention is, if we look at the top 5,
how
many EU teams did we have there?
I don't remember. How many EU teams?
4.
4.
Yeah.
4 out of 5 of the top teams right now are EU teams. So where is NA?
Counting CIS as EU?
Okay,
yes, I do.
That's cheating.
No, it's...
Yeah, no, that's cheating.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't do that.
Different region.
Different region.
Okay, so we got 3 out of 5 teams are EU up there.
Fair?
Yeah,
Fair.
I don't like how you brought up this point just to gloat.
He did gloat.
I'm not sure.
No, he's going to cast his curse. That's going to cause some trouble on this Miramar round. I think we're going to see a shift, and we'll probably end the day 2-2-1 is my guess if I don't miss my guess.
Well, no, my guess now is that a Canadian org will take it. Okay, so it's either going to be Nova or Set to Destroy X having to take this now because of you pooping on the Americas. Okay, that's not okay.
I'm still going to say Ghost for this game as well. I think they're going to bring another chicken dinner home.
Yeah, no, I think Ghost is playing really well. Again, I think Liquid is still looming heavy. They got caught. They actually made some really smart rotations in the last game. That whole West Road transition up and down that they did was really strong, but the circle ran away from them, and they just weren't able to catch back up to it because it kind of shifted all the way back down towards San Martin. So that was a really tough situation for them. If they don't get the circle running away from them, I think that they take this one home. So I think that they're still in a pole position. As much as I now want an NA team to come in so that we can have a 2-2-1 split after your competence, I think Liquid is still looking really good for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. We didn't actually get a chance to talk about that too much, but that fun circle drop, the first circle way west last map, that was like... It was exciting.
It was. And, you know, so a couple things happened here. I think that was a great circle for Wildcard. They let me down a little bit. Their loot spot was they thrive when the circle's not on them, but it's accessible opposite the plane path.
So yeah, they dropped on the east side as well.
They dropped on the east, but the plane was south of them, and the circle was north. So when I say off-plane rotation, that means you always want to rotate the farthest place away from where the plane was, which has the least likelihood of spoilers or campers or people in the way. And they did that. Nice north rotation, but once they got there, they just ran smack into, I think it was...
Sangol.
Sangol. And Sangol just caused too much trouble for them. Yes, they won in the end, but it cost them too many resources.
They cost them 2 players, but they did win the fight.
Great fight.
Yeah.
And that was on the back of Tamai. Tamai, with an outside flank, made a nice crushing play.
But he did get kickstart as well.
Well, sometimes you got to break a few eggs to scramble, make an omelet, or whatever the saying is.
But there was an issue even in the beginning. What was it? Gates coming out early now because it's CeeLo that got trapped. Like he kind of gave up his spot like that.
Easy on Sangol.
He didn't really get trapped. I would say
He
he
got
got
caught, though.
turned on.
Yeah, he got turned on.
turned on.
He shot at Sangl with a micro Uzi. I think he figured there's no way Sangl stops here. Sangl unfortunately spun their car out, and then his only option was like, well, I guess I'm fighting now. Yeah. But he was up against a micro Uzi. I think it was a Mini 14 or a Scar.
I think it was Snacks with a Scar.
Okay, so it was a Scar.
Yeah, it was a really good shot, though.
It was a great shot. You saw Stilo. The second the car stopped, he was like, uh-oh, and turned around to run, but it was just too late. And then they did the benefit of Sangl of essentially that spot where Stilo was a really good spot for the circle. So now Sangl walks in, he's like, oh, no one else shot at me. Guys, get over here. And Sangl ran in and then had a pretty good performance out of that.
But yeah, also in the fight there between Sangl and Wildcard and stuff, we saw that Sangl actually got 2 knocks straight away in the beginning of the fight. But Wildcard got one of them up, I think.
Yeah.
And kept on fighting from there.
I mean, it didn't turn out too well for Sangl, as obviously they were bottom of the pack there. I mean, maybe Gates did them a favor. I mean, Sela did them a favor.
It comes down to the city play, and we talk. I can't harp on this enough. Cities are tempting. They're always tempting, right? Because there's tons of places to hide in a city.
Yeah.
But if the circle isn't dead center, eventually it's going to leave town. And Miramar especially is a map that is designed to punish you when you leave a city. None of our cities in Miramar have a ton of cover as you exit them. And what's what we saw? The teams that were out in the mountains and the fields were the ones that came out on top. The people live in the city got lambasted every time.
Frost, I hear there's a video that you want to break down. I'm not sure if it's time now for you to do that, but is there something on the screen that you feel like you need to...
Sorry.
All right. Should we go into it?
I did not endorse this. I was not...
So, I'm not exactly sure what's going on right there, but...
What about the rotation of the cake, Frost? That's what I'm interested in.
So, we see a bite is taken from there.
Interesting.
And I think it's right there, right now. But, interesting fact here is, if you look at this face
look at that
right
face.
Oh, yeah, watch Dave, yeah.
What is he looking at?
I want to find someone who looks at me the way that Dave looks at
Avenger.
Avenger.
I'm not sure if he's looking at the cake bite that Avenger just took, or if it's on Avenger he's looking at.
That's fair.
Insightful, as always, Frost. Listen, we gotta go because the final match of the day is ready. It's time for Avenger to wipe the cake off his face and Sado to take it away.
I would happily take it away from that image all day. What is going on there?
I mean, I wanted to make sure that all the nice marzipan toppings here, it stayed in there.
Yep.
But
I think they enjoyed watching that more than you actually enjoyed
the thing
partaking.
is, here with this production here, they just love doing stuff like that. Throughout the season, we had goats appear on screen. In the middle of the night, we were sitting there 3 a.m. We're kind of tired, me and D-Man, and then
a goat
slowly a goat just fades, or maybe a dog or whatever it was, just fades in.
Did Nicholas do the regular season too?
Yeah, of course.
Is that Cromquist?
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
that sounds like Nicholas Cromquist. Yeah, he's a troll.
Yeah. Can we get a
him.
picture to fade in? Otherwise, I'll just print one tomorrow and I'll just slowly bring it up. Nicholas here, and this is the guy. Bringing him from this side.
The amount of times when Henry and I are doing CS that he's just like whispering stuff in our ear that I'm like, yo, would you shut up, dude? Like, I'm in the middle of a game right now. And he's just like, haha. Okay, troll me all you want, Nicholas.
What he did.
Yeah, see, he's doing it right now. He's literally doing it right now.
He did it as well, where he said stuff to me, and I started laughing because he thought it was going kind of slow. He said something to me. I was like,
yeah, just break up the silence completely.
Only to me, and then Deemer was like, what's happening?
He's very clever too, by the way, because at many events when we have production, we have a button that we can talk back to the producer. So I can be like, yo, Nick, stop that. Or maybe I'll go along with a joke, depending on... We can't do that here.
No,
he's just not given that button, so he can just do whatever he wants. And we can't do anything about it, Nicholas. It seems so convenient for you.
It's typical you. But thank you, and thank you for great production so far. There's been some quality content, I feel like.
Yeah,
especially with the good games and everything. Also, cake eating. But I think, as Frost pointed out there, I think the quality of that cake eating contest, let's say it that way, was Mustache Dave's perfect. Everything. It's just the way he looked at me, the way he looked at the cake.
You like the way he looked at you.
I feel like he wanted to join in on it. But he just didn't get the opportunity.
Some deal with it shades going on right there. Avenger, hit me with some stories here. Look, FaZe has not played well on Miramar. Liquid's getting beat by the circle. But what about some other teams? Set to Destroy kind of sneaking in there a little bit late. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Look at him.
I mean, Haxeti here.
Yeah.
The guy with the daps. I mean, for me here, FaZe obviously taking 2 wins on Erangel shows their dominance in there, but they need to step it up on Miramar. If they want to be on top, if they want to win this event, they got to step it up on Miramar. Unfortunately, they haven't had a lot of time. Again, as you said, Global Loot League is the only league and the only tournament where we've had official online league and everything. Of course, PGI we had some, but it's the only league and the only place where we play Miramar, so you don't have that much time to train on it. So they need to work it out a bit more because they're absolutely dominant on Erangel. And I feel like, I said it yesterday as well, I feel like there's a bit more RNG on Miramar so far because, again, it's 8 times 8 kilometers. It's 4th iteration on the map currently. You don't have the time to know every dip, every single place. But look at this plane, though.
Yeah, that's the 3rd time. This is pretty consistent.
Slightly more north here, but still, it's going to enable more teams being able to get up to the completely north side of the map if they want to.
Something has changed.
Something has changed.
There's a team that's still in the plane that's normally not still in the plane.
Wildcard, they got El Asaha last time, and they were like, you know what? We pretty much like that place. Let's take it.
They're going to go for it, absolutely. So we were kind of pointing out the fact that they were jumping early. It seemed like no matter what in most situations, and that was the case for the first 2 planes. Now it seems, yeah, you're right. They're comfortable saying, hey, Al Azahar is us. Let's go there. We've got it. It's got the one thing I will say about it is it's got really good transition options on the roads.
Exactly. That's what I like about it. I mean, you have 4 roads that exit from there. You can get anywhere from there. And if you go west, the only place you're going to go into is kind of an open place. In public games, yes, there will be people camping there, but that's not the case here. Things is not going to be camping that intersection there on the west of El Asaha. But everything else kind of pans out as we expected here. Ghost, they're kind of in a hot place here. They want to go down to Puerto, but with the plane ending just over El Asahan. That looks like a Lion's knock there. Sonics did get a knock on somebody, and Chris is going to finish it. Let's look what happened there. Chronix is going to be taken down.
And I was going to point this out. Penta's almost doing what Knights did on Erangel. They spread out every single drop, and this time it's cost them quite dearly, if I'm honest.
Look, can we just take a little look at the map here?
That's a huge shift. Another one.
You like it?
I do like it. It's the same as last time. We're going far west, but we're going a little more south, which actually means that choke point we talked about with the roads isn't going to be the same. What it does bring into it is that southern terrain, these massive mountain ridges that are so playable and so important. Really early, there's going to be another big shift, but I like it. This is good. This is going to cause a lot more chaos. Navi's going to like it. They don't have to leave this time. They're actually in the first circle down at Vela Del Mar.
And here, a little short look on Team Dignitas, Woogie Boogie on 7, Gustav QQ, and Adam. Currently sitting in 6th place with 150 points behind Liquid, so they're looking at getting pretty close. But look at that. The top 4 here, 260 points from 4th to 1st. So it's very close still. And 20 points behind FaZe is Na'Vi with that very good win they just, or not very good win, with that very good game they just had with a lot of kills. Good position making Knights, pushing all the way up to top 3 right there. 10 points ahead of Ghost. So it looks like we're finally looking at how the top 5 will be looking, because after this game, we're going to be through 67% of the games.
I like your maths. That was good.
You like that?
66.6 repeating, but yeah, I'll give you the roundup.
Yeah, well, a little slight roundup right here. Yeah, I like it. But, of course, 6 games tomorrow as well. The final day, the Championship Sunday, as somebody like to call it. And here, Set to Destroy X as well. German Sir, good place to loot, actually. Multiple layered, lots of loot, yes. After this 4th iteration of the map here, all of the compounds, they have been moved out slide a bit here. Split out. Before, it was an extremely good place to loot. Very central on the zone, good position. You can easily rotate out of it and into it. But here, there's not that much places to loot, so you kind of want to split up with one guy. They do have one guy just looting outside, which is Rift, and these compounds just slightly north of it.
I will say I think Toffee's said it well, and it's something that's really apparent but you don't often think about, is that you do get punished for leaving cities on this map.
Yes.
The cities have so much cover, but as soon as you leave them, it changes the game entirely for you, because you've got these crazy long open traverses that you have to cross, and in doing so, especially with circle shifts, you know that, like we saw last game, you get to Pozo, you know that it's going to eventually leave there, and you kind of set yourself up to be in a big dogfight. It's one of those things that, like, yes, it's very obvious in hindsight, but without him pointing it out, it's like the elephant in the room. You got to point it out, and then you become aware of it. It's rather obvious, right? That's an interesting map in that way.
It's very interesting. I mean, with this, it's an esport now, right? You want to have multiple maps. You want to have teams that are very good at one map. You want to have teams that are very good at another map. Put it into the rotation. But, I mean, there's going to be coming more maps. But with the maps being that big, it's going to take more time, or it should take more time before the maps get introduced into esport. Because, I mean, it takes so much time for the teams to learn it.
I'm digging some of these cinematics right now. He's driving these excellent beauty shots of Liquid on the move. And then that is exactly what they're going to do. Remember last time they transitioned all the way to the west of the circle? Yes. They're going to go more south this time, avoid where FaZe currently are, but they are heading in that direction. Lions will try and engage them. If Azrael hits this shot, I might actually take him on a date instead of Boogie, with the Car 98.
Well, I mean, I think you should take Boogie on a date. I mean, he's from Copenhagen, so
that's true. I might see him there.
You do come sometime there, right? So that's a ambitious shot right there. I like
Give it a go.
Ooh, I like to see something like that. Oh, M249. Personal opinion, go.
You like it?
I
see its viability in the no reload. If you're pushing a team, you can run, you can gun, you can be not necessarily mobile with it, but you have the possibility of always being ready to fight, if you will.
Right.
I don't love it for its. I just find it. I can't control it.
When you crouch with it, and if you have a good vertical sensitivity, I mean, you have the standard vertical sensitivity is 0.7, but if you put it on 1, you can control that beast so good. It's an absolutely monster, and you can wreck so many cars with it. In the hands of Kramer, the self-proclaimed best left-handed player in the world, he has the mouse and left hand.
Of which there is one. I'm kidding. There's probably more than that.
There's probably I know of a couple, but I only want to call out Kramer here. He's a perfect left-handed player. There's the prime example. He's a hybrid, multiple nation man. From he speaks also 3 languages. Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I'm terrible with language.
Linguistic there, right there. Yeah.
Gemty,
or 2.5. Gemty here. 4x. He does see a Team Gates member up by that tree. That's far away.
Super far away. And a 4-time scope, not an 8-times. But he's well aware that TG is going to be trying to play the backside of the circle. Now, lots of ridgeline you can use over in that to their advantage, but they're almost going to try and hold this road and cover off transitions. We saw M19 trying this in the last map, and how congested that bottom side was. They couldn't engage on the fights. Everyone was sort of jostling for position, but it's TG that's going to be able to spot pretty much anyone rotating and therefore play a court. We say it in CS all the time, it's like an early round transition where you're trying to go for map control.
Right.
It's map control. It's information. That's all they want. They don't necessarily want to fight in these positions, but everyone that drives by, it's a little mental note. Okay, team just went here. We know we don't want to rotate that direction, or hey, let's see if they get into a fight. We'll keep track of the noise we hear. So again, it's just strictly that map control. Sengel, they were aggressive early in the last game as well in getting position. In fact, they had the opening kill in the last game. They're going to try and get aggressive once more in this particular round, having transitioned in early already from San Martin. They are now heading down toward Knights, the winner of the last map, and their position inside of the barn.
They're going to push this Texas here with an AK. They want to crash this, and Giga is also coming out on Calamro. It's actually left this. You do not want to take this fight. So Knights are going to take over this compound easily from them. As you said, good position inside the zone, just northwest of Monte Nuevo. FaZe has got a very good split going actually here. Wildcard transitioning in as well. They're going to be coming in from all the way over at Crystal Val. They might drive straight into Dignitas. We'll see with that transition later. Mozzie here taking some fight, or taking some shots. And Navi, he wants to fight.
They want to fight. Drayden's got Shaky's down, so that is the previous transition that we saw where Sengel was trying to hold that compound, or rather Knights, excuse me, was trying to hold this compound, this barn just north of Monte Nuevo. They've now fully engaged, and just to finish my previous point, we won't necessarily go back to it, but TG engaged a lot faster than I thought they would on Navi. I thought they'd play complacently. They aren't. They actually want to try and take that fight early. But Knights, the one that start things off with a knock, elect not to give up their coverage. And inside of the smoke, they'll get a revive, but they're still just trying to pick apart Sengel. And Shaky's now just gets back to his feet and gets in the med kit. Ooh, Voxic. That's discouraging. Don't stick your head back out there, my friend.
Sengel here getting extremely pushed here. They have to use 6 smokes already. You don't want to use that many utilities, but you have to, of course. You want to be as many people alive towards the end game.
You're right. The problem is it's not like you're going to go back to a town like you would for any casuals.
Wookie Pookie.
That's sick. That is sick. Spraying into it. Wookie Pookie, the top fragger for Dignitas in a prime position to try and find more. Couldn't collect on the way by, but now over to his lovely sniper rifle. This time 2014, and will continue to spam to Nova, who get in the open, and awkwardly Smithies is getting picked at, but he'll get away.
See with the trace around there, he's super close to actually hit him and doing a lot of damage onto the car.
He's accurate, man.
He's very accurate. The land giant himself from Denmark. Ghost, nice rotation again. Yeah, they had a lot of, again, west to east plane. They dropped late. They had to drop down on the eastern side, get cars, make sure they could drive all the way out onto Puerto. So they're going to be sparsely looted. Penta's going to be coming in behind them. M19 still in rotation on the southern side. Again, it's going to be exactly the same as the last round. Multiple teams is going to be super congested on the south side.
It's south side, and more so now that we've got those mountain ranges in. Like I say, STDX has fantastic position if it shifts that direction because they're on the high ground, and those two roads are basically, they're not quite what they call Death Valley up toward Terry Bronco. You know, go Broncos. I'm just going to not try and say that one correctly. They're not quite to that extent, but they are really tough positions to try and mobilize in. So that's solid. Jempty's really giving it a go, isn't it? Up to 8 times for him on the Car 98. Can't quite hit the shot. To go back to the point on Sengel, which we discussed and you mentioned, 6 smokes used. It's not like you're going to run back into a city to look for smokes of all things. At this point, you're trying to position and you're trying to play them out. So the fact that they had to use that much utility is going to hinder their performance late game when they actually are in awkward exchanges if a third party comes in, etc.
Exactly. Very good point. Wildcard here, slow rotation. Nova even further. Wow, that's a far rotation. They're going to be coming all the way in through La Caparia and coming in on the north side. And as we see here, good decision making from them, of course, based on the information they have, and they read the plane very well, and they kind of expect this circle to have a lot of teams in the southern side. So very good decision making right there. Krama's going to take down Giga, and now Sangal is in even more trouble than before.
This is Ghost getting this mountain. I was surprised not to see Na'Vi heading up here a little bit earlier. Sengel, yeah, you're right. More trouble because now they're going to be way lower on meds. They've got no helmet left on Geeker, who's going to be picked up now. But just to go back to that point, Ghost are taking that mountain. Na'Vi elected to leave Villa Del Mar early and go up the road rather than on that hill. Now, it does leave them transition possibilities for the next shift, which is coming in about 10 seconds. But yeah, it seemed obvious to me just to play for the information. So Ghost are going to take that absolutely available to them, and they'll welcome that, no problem. Thanks very much for the position, and they'll hold it. And the shift goes to the circle. STDX has an incredible position for now, but look at all the teams. This is going to be amazing for teams like Dignitas still coming in from the right side, from M19 still coming in from the bottom. They'll love that. They'll absolutely love that circle's gone away from the mountain range, and it's 100% playable, but also close to them for their transitions.
So many of these teams are already inside the circle, and we're going to have a far rotation from the north as well. Nova's going to be coming in. Everybody's going to be pushed down to the north, so of course there's going to be more teams up there, but still great position for multiple teams. This shift south here, I welcome it a lot here. Face, great position, but again, we do have a road going straight through the middle and 2 very elevated areas, mountainsides. Oh my god, 15X, 8X, MK14, and full level 3. And it's going to be Batulins, by far the best player on that team. He's an amazing fragger, young player.
Take all of that. I think that really the adrenaline syringe was the win there, if you ask me.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, full boosted instantly. And I actually like it. After they downed the time, before it was a very long shot. Now it's just 8 seconds on it, so it's much faster. Or it's 6 now, actually, after they changed it. Mexi's going to take down Mossy, so he's out of the game. Knights and FaZe are very close to each other here, because Knights, they are on the oil refinery just southwest of Montenuevo here.
Jempty's absolutely taking advantage of the fact that not only has that 8X now, but the silenced Car 98. He's firing at everyone he possibly can. And they spot Knights. He's well aware of their positioning.
Nice shot.
Did he hit him in the back? I think he just collected him.
Yeah, I think he got him a torso shot or something like that. He got down to about 50%. Yeah, exactly. 50% HP right there. Nice shot by Jempty. Amazing fragger. Probably one of the best players in the world right now.
He has to hold off. As you see, Knights immediately give the attention to that position. They have to hold off both angles from within that small compound now, which gets a bit awkward for them. Nova interrogate, taking his time getting down there. We'll just start to arrive toward TG again. We're holding on to that road, but Liquid, dead center of the circle. FaZe, dead center of the circle. We still have everyone, pretty much everyone alive, certainly every team, but only 2 players down, and both of them, I take that back, excuse me, Penta lost one as well, but both of the earlier kills, Mortify and Mossy, go against Team Gates. And they haven't really gotten much going today either. They've been just, I want to say struggling. Every duel that they get into, they seem to get knocks. They seem to make it awkward for teams, but they can't find kills that certainly matter in the end. FaZe is engaging. They've got Knights. They're starting to push the compound. One single knock. Drayden goes down. It's Mixie from range. They get back in the door, so they can't engage. Great shot in return for the Car 98 of Voxic, who was unsighted, given that the gun was holding off the position. And guess who's going to steal that and chime in with a third-party kill? Jeems. Liquid pick up one against FaZe, who go down to 3 members early yet again on map 6 of the day, 12 overall, for those of you playing along at home.
So I like the quick maps. We just throwing out numbers super quick. I like it. Can we do that more tomorrow?
I mean, try.
Yeah.
We get up to 18.
two digits is going to be harder. No, it's good. Teams here being able to take that kill. Of course, it's 10 points leading his switch, but also pushing him further onto the top killer leaderboard. He is currently in the top 2 at the moment. Or was it top 3? I'm not sure, but he has more than 20 kills.
That's going to be so frustrating for him as well, because he's picking apart. He gets a knock. He's just trying to pester them down there in that compound Knights. Voxic hits a beauty out of nowhere, and he gets third-partied as a result of it. Like, that is so frustrating. It's like everything's going well, everything's going, boom, dead. Like, that's tilting. But FaZe certainly skilled enough. We'll try and play off. It was a great shot. Pinch position for Silo and Exco to try and hold off 2 players in a split 2-2 for Nova. Again, trying to open up the map. They're going to put 2 players deep on the western side. If the shift goes that direction, there's not much going on in that direction, and Ghosts are kind of gambling on that. They're holding down to the bottom corner, again, waiting to see where the circle goes. Not too far back on it, but trying to position themselves not in the middle of the fight, but for the late game, and that's what they've been very, very good at so far on Miramar today. Shift is coming, by the way. Get ready. Predictions? Call it right now before it hits.
South.
Ooh, okay.
Like it?
That's not bad.
There's a slight southeast shift, if you may, but still, Penta straight in the middle here. M19, great position as well. Gymnasera has some of the buildings inside, but with this shrink here, we're going to see a lot of teams doing the big shifts, you know, coming in around to the side, trying to get into the southeastern side of the map where there's currently nobody there. Lions here also in a great position. They have a high ground hill, but if they have to move east, they have to move down into a valley where Penta's already sitting, and they have teams on the other side of the valley on top of this hill. Resu, Sonics, these guys, they're trying to make a decision. Do we stay? Do we make a move now? What's going to happen? Because if it shrinks away from them, they're going to be in a super hot spot rotating out of it. Shadow here, a few shots onto Dignitas, who's made that way. We can see as well already on the southeastern side of the map. Shade is going to go down to Example here while running down. This is the open space I'm talking about. We need some more rocks on these open spaces, some more trees, some more cover. Otherwise, this is absolutely suicide.
It's exactly this. I mean, those hills are great when you're on top of them, but this is kind of what I was mentioning with Death Valley. It's just wide open when you have to move, and that's what Na'Vi is discovering. Ghost, that's why they went early. So the shift went away from them, but they positioned accordingly. They said, all right, if this goes to the right, let's weigh our odds. Let's get a little closer to those roads, and boom, now they're in. You called it right. Those transitions are happening. Knights going deep to the south. Nova going to continue the same. Still in a 2-2 split and at complete opposite sides of the circle. But again, just trying to get map control, trying to weigh themselves out, the odds of the shift working at least one way or the other. Kumisera, not surprising to see a team heading to those outskirts, not committing to the buildings, but this
great position.
After, well, what we said from Toffees at Dignitas, what we said, to leave towns you get punished, there's quite a bit of cover on the western side of Kumisera, so this is still doable, and Dignitas aren't going to commit to going in the town. They're going to play the high side of that ridge north and watch behind them, so that's an awesome position to be in right now. Unfortunately
for the other half of Dignitas, Gustav and Adam, they lost their bike to Vitality, who took that out, so they're going to be on foot. They're going to be running as far as they can, but Team Gates it looks like Team Gates is making a far rotation coming in on the eastern side. They're getting shot at by Wildcard here. Kickstart. Oh, taking some shots himself as well from the side. They're in an okay position to gatekeep here, so that's why they're staying, because they can easily rotate and push up towards the hill because it's extremely elevated. Moonwolf Edokos also on the outside here.
Tamai's got to be careful. He's engaging down the hill, but this is perfect from the observer, exactly on cue. Sengol's going to come in behind them. Tumai's left in the open. He can't transition back to his teammates, so he needs to get information and try and peek accordingly, and he's done that. So he's taking a shot into Kalimdor, now realizes it, backs off the hill. He can at least force them and funnel the fight toward his teammates at the compound, but that's all he can do. Sharp shot again with a Car 98 this time. It was the M24 in the last game. Is looking dead solid with shots at range, and another knock on Shakies. I think it was him that he took down last time as well. These two teams battled last time at at Monte Nuevo.
Was indeed here. Sharp shot.
Excuse me.
Yeah, El Pozo, exactly. Sharp shot only's got 4 bullet left though, so he's got to get some more 7.62 though. Now Gustav here and guys from Dignitas, they're making their way in. Meanwhile, they actually took down Exco from Team Gates, so Silo is the last player now from Team Gates. He's currently outside the zone, so he's probably going to be gate kept though. See here, Kramer with the 8x on the SLR. Strong weapon, 58 damage per shot right here. Texas is knocked, but he's probably going to be able to... No, he's not. Texas is outside the zone, so he's dead. He's gone. It's going to be taken out by the zone. Fosway is going to be knocked, though. And look at this. Moonwolf.
This is the worst situation because Tumai was trying to hold off the hill behind him, as I mentioned, to force Erangel, but then he gets third-party by Moonwolf. Him being that far out, he could not get back to his teammate. He was trying to disengage off a previous fight when all of that happened, so he was just unfortunate victim of circumstance. This shot from Moonwolf, they're still trying to pick them apart, and they're going to land it behind the tree. Erangel gets covered off. Great shot, O'Connell. Geeker goes down. Second knock for him, by the way, for those of you keeping track, which means obviously they're going to have to get on immediately for the revive, and that's when Pride realizes the situation and tries to swing out to steal the kills and take down Erangel in doing so because they won't be able to move anywhere. Nade from range, smokes on it, and I think that's Geeker gone.
Ooh, BSD. Not close enough. Oh, that might be.
Yeah, BSD. That's a good second nade.
Erangel's going to be taken out. Meanwhile, we also saw Novak go down. Now Liquid's making a move here. They saw the shift. It's gone slightly southwest here, so they're going to go straight into the middle of this. You can play these ditches. You can play this very open area, but they got to take some cover here around the lower sides here. Christo is taking some shots at Walcott, and they're outside in the open. Kickstart's been taken out. Pride is running alone in the open now. Lions completely gatekeeping the northern sides. FaZe is also taking shots from Vitality and Lions at this point. Batulins is going to take down Jeems though, so he's going to be knocked and left alone. Santi might be able to get him. We'll see about that later. Profi here on the western side, trying to make sure that nobody comes in behind them. You don't want snakes. We saw it in the games earlier. You don't want snakes coming up behind you because you're just going to lose a few players and you might end up losing the game.
Shots
AB
out.
says, well.
Yeah, AB's knocked. Dignitas got him in a crossfire both sides of the road. I don't think he's coming back, so this is going to be Liquid down a man as we look at all our lovely statistics on the outside of the game. Gustav's got him pinned in that hut, and Samty's going to try and swing around. There's no way he gets there. Yeah, he's done. Gone. Gustav confirms it. Sonics gets a shot as well on the kickstart. One less for wildcard. M19, meanwhile, has been quiet down at the bottom of the hill, and Zimple is still firing out to Samty, trying to third-party Liquid's very unfortunate circumstances of being completely surrounded. Good position in the middle of the circle. That's great. But everybody seems to know that they're there, and there's not a lot of cover on the side of that hill.
Exactly. That's what we talked about with Navi. When you're in the middle of this, everybody's going to be looking at you. The full focus, if you're going middle of the center in the fourth circle, which this one is, you're going to be looking at people shooting at. Wildcard's going to go down to 14 now, and Navi is going to have people looking at them. It's going to be Dignitas, actually.
Jempty's down. FaZe down one more man. So they are not at all having their way with it like they were on Erangel this morning. So Jempty's knocked, and it's from Lions. Meanwhile, rotations from Na'Vi as they're outside of the circle trying to evade Dignitas. They're spotted in doing so, and Andy's got one kill already. They're going to have problems. Na'Vi's going to get gatekept. Uncivil and Wookie Bookie already swinging around inside of the circle to hold them off, and the shot's continuing to be successful. Wookie Bookie, he's trying to push out. Gustav as well. Uba's down. Pokamolodo is sort of trying to get back toward him, but they know that knock means that they have little available to them, and they'll hear Gustav's feet stomping, heading in that direction. Excuse me, good positioning, but there's the flank. And exactly that. Dignitas knew the situation, knew they could gatekeep. They'll get in, and they've got plenty of time to get back to the circle. Meanwhile, FaZe have at least revived Jempty.
They have had multiple knocks on them, so they're on the second, maybe even third knock, some of them. We'll see what's going to happen if they go down again. Jazza, though, here, Vitality, great position on the northeastern side of the zone, but they do have to run down towards Penta if it shrinks away for them. We'll see as the circle updates shortly.
Silo as a solo is going to end up snaking this. He just wiped two players running in, going past him, and took out the remaining players from Moonwolf. Decent shift. M19 are in a fantastic position on that compound. Knights are trying to transition away from it, but they're stuck in a crossfire. Batulin, here we go. Brought out that M24 earlier. He spots Jeems, who, by the way, has no helmet behind that hay bale.
That's why I want to go to that crate. That crate is not looted yet. It's just next to him. He wants a level 3 helmet to make sure that he can get a headshot from everything else than an AWM, so he can survive it. It's a huge upgrade, making sure that you're not going to get knocked by any shots, of course. And he's making a run for Jeems here. He's going to get an M249. He's going to take that. Could imagine. Nope. He's not. He didn't want it. Not enough time to shift and make sure they can drop some of the attachments. See about that. Rift here taking shots at Ghost, though. In a hard position here. They're outside the zone. They have to make a move, and they're actually moving up behind FaZe. So we'll see if Set to Destroy, they're actually able to gatekeep it from them. We'll see about that. Survivors also taking shots at Knights. Are trying to make a way in.
Those are 4 shots.
They're actually in a hard place here. Set to destroy. They have to cross the road because this shift is not going to stay there. They're going to be having to stay on the high side. And if it's shift away from them, they have to cross the road, completely open space, which means they have to run into M19 and maybe even take fire from face from above.
Batulin finally got a shot off. Nailed 70. Liquid's been just trying to survive in the middle of the field with everyone around them. Meanwhile, Lions, they're going to push up. It is FaZe that they'll run into. Hexetti's on the other side of the hill, and he's got to try and battle this off with the AK, trying to tap his teammate Fuzz at this point, just trying to keep them alive. Jempty, second knock for him, and Hax, he's just tapping it. He's trying to bait that out to try to hold off, so he's got more time on the revive. He commits to it. Nades won't go far enough. Rezu, that one will just get over the hill, and there's nowhere to go. Hexetti's down, and FaZe is gone 11th. They've barely scraped the backside of the top 10 after looking dominant on Erangel all morning. Miramar's a problem for them. I'm saying it now. It's absolutely going to have to be addressed if they want to win this event outright. Meanwhile, STDX, Survivor, he's found Ghost. They can't get out of the position and back toward the circle. You're right. STDX certainly has to move on the next shift. But M19, Batulin already knocking Liquid for a second time. They're in a perfect position to catch off STDX. Snaker, what a shot from that range. Azrael gone, Lions in problem. This is very good from them, but again, I'm still worried about the shift.
Oh my god, he keeps on snaking here. Look at this. Snakers with lots of shots. Turtle is still alive, but he's going to make a run just towards the open. He did smoke a bit. He's got a little ridge to work with, but he's got to run in here. Sonics and Turtle might meet each other. We'll see about that later. Turtle did take him down here, so Lions is taken out on 9th position. Team Gates went down before that. Dignitas found CeeLo, which was left alive. So we're down to 8 teams. Liquid still in the middle here of this zone, so ultimately they should be left alive. Now Dignitas is going to take down James.
I think that's his third knock. Either way, Gustav's going to confirm it. There's a knock that happened from Batulin again over toward Dignitas. I'm curious as to whether or not Kostanovic and Elite Player are still aware. I'm sure they have to be. That STTA, okay, there's the contact. So STDX is still above them on the hill. Scoom just has to play silently. They've had so much circle control, but they've had so much attention drawn toward them that they couldn't do anything with it on the Liquid side. It was almost death by 1,000 paper cuts. They got picked apart. They got knocked. They lost their utility. No helmets, as we saw. Desperate to get toward the crate. There's only so much you can withstand.
This is kind of a typical Liquid play. If they have nowhere to go, they will do a Hail Mary towards the middle of the circle, making sure they can get some cover. But here, not enough cover because you have such an elevated area that everybody's just raining hill down from above. Now, Scoom, though, he's probably going to survive with this circle. He's probably going to survive making sure they get into the top 4, maybe even the top 3. So he's just going to lay low, making sure that he can sneak as much as possible. We got Voxic, he's 1 player alive. We got Ghost Gaming, Turtle is 1 player alive. And then, of course, Liquid was 1 player alive. Everybody else is 4 and 3. So M19 set to destroy Dignitas and Penta. They have 4 guys alive. Penta with 3.
Still cars here if it comes to that for STDX. Obviously, everyone knows they're up here at this point. Yeah, I'm not surprised to see this. Just get in at this point because you're right. You have to transition that road. It's not the ideal situation, but they're actually going to use it to swing. And in doing so, they're going to go straight toward Turtle, the last remaining Ghost member. Scoom in the field in front. I'm curious to see if Turtle is already being engaged on, if he even tries to go onto this. They're going to rotate back. I take it back. I thought they were going to go high side and try and avoid M19. They just wanted to get positioned to get closer, but they're caught off. Nades are going to go far enough, and STDX, despite having 4 players just moments ago, are going to get H-bombed as a nade to a car blows up both Snackers. Rift's now down. Snackers trying to crawl back to his teammate. And Fignaldo has very little to work with behind the tree. And Batulin and Kostanovic are looking fantastic. Snacker's now gone. Fignaldo knows the situation. Survivor tries to get inside the smoke. It's gone too far, and I don't think it's going to get the car. So they still sit with 2. But this is an awkward exchange, and M19's only committed half of their players to this. They're still watching for information, specifically for Dignitas' rotation.
Look at this. It's going to be a Molotov coming out as well. It might be okay, actually, on the tree here. And it's going to spread just around the edge of the... Oh, Kane's going to take down Fignaldo now, so Survivor's left alone. Meanwhile, we did see Ghost go down. Voxic has made it in as well, but he's taking shots as well from M19. Now Box is going to go down. That is Knights out in 6th. And M19 is looking very good. 6 kills already. And they're just trying to confirm set to destroy X here. 5 teams alive, 13 players only. Let's see what's going to happen here. They might have overcommitted to this set to destroy push here. We'll see what's going to happen with Batulin.
That's the only thing that I'm considering here, because Batulin, now the man who's been firing at range, is well and truly overextended beyond the tree. The fact that the res came in and they weren't ready for it, Survivor's got to kill back, and set to destroy in this fight have picked up a top 5 position because Knights, with Voxic coming in from the east, got caught out. They're going to take Fignoldo out of it, but Tulin gets the res in the knock, but will go down. It's Survivor to get the kill, as we saw just before snapping off. So you're not wrong in saying that I think M19 well and truly overextended it. They've realized their mistake, and they're going to transition back towards Circle, but they couldn't even get the knockout on STDX. They're still in it with one player. Yeah, Dignitas here looking very good. 8 kills on Civil 4, Gustav 2, and Adam 2. Quick surprisingly with none. Maybe it's because he doesn't have a Khan 98. Penta, though, in the north side, they have to pass through or past Skoom here to get into the next side of the zone. And they're actually like pushing in a very open space. We're just going to see what happened here. Dignitas is in a very good position. They're probably the team closest next to M19 to get into the zone, though. Penta, good high ground on this. See what's going to happen. Skoom is going to just lay low. He's just going to wait. This is the brown one as well. Car is already blown out. Does that suggest someone's nearby? I meant the brown Gilly, that is. The one, exactly. As you mentioned last game. On Civil, still much better to spot Kaint. Much better with the brown Gilly, but as you said, with this car here, they're gonna look for it. They're gonna check. It's kind of obvious there might be somebody there. If he was just lying next to a Haybal with the brown Gilly suit, then nothing's gonna happen. They're not gonna even be able to see him probably. Woody or Kaint here, trying to make a move. They're gonna bring a bike actually. Oh, this might be dangerous. This is huge because Wookie, you called the end kills yet. From range, he'll combine with Adam to take down Braxku. Now the fact that this is happening favors Skoom. He doesn't have to do anything in this situation. They might see that car. They might even suspect it if they had the time. The problem is now that they've been engaged by Dignitas, they're preoccupied. There's nothing they can do with Skoom. Even if they go to the other side of him, as Ujir goes down, Blue's going to catch him out as it pushes through. He's got all the freedom to just wait for exactly that. Penta to be eliminated, 5th place. That's another position for Liquid. Dignitas have already said, okay, everyone on that side's clear. Skoom's back in this. He can snake his way back in. Meanwhile, M19, they've had to get back inside of the circle. They finally get set to destroy X down, but they've got to push directly toward the fact that it's Dignitas with 4 players looking for their Mirmo win, 2nd overall in the event, and Wookie still trying to pin down Konstanovic. That's when Skoom's going to go. He's on the move and trying to transition behind them. He is a snake that certainly can capitalize on circumstance. We saw Sampty do it yesterday. Skoom, who is actually deporting Team Liquid, can be their hero, and there's Wookie finally getting on the board. You called him out. No chance that was going to be the case. Oh, Skoom, is he going to be spotted? Wookie's looking for it, and he does. He sees him snaking in. Skoom's done and gone. Good read from Wookie. Excellent positioning, and now it's a chicken dinner. Surely the last of the night going to Team Dignitas. Steph Tivnik here. He realizes that it might only be Dignitas because they've been raining hell down from above. We're going to see what's happening here. Oh, good nade coming in. It might blow on him. Oh, take him down to nothing, and now Gustav is pushing in, and Adam is going to take him down. The winner, chicken dinner. But Dignitas, the 2nd Miramar game, and it looks like Miramar is that kind of map. Absolutely. 2nd win for them on it. And spotting out Skoom was rather unfortunate for Liquid because he was trying to sneak in and even just outlast and get a 2nd place finish. That is a healthy amount of kills for Team Dignitas, if I do the math correctly. That's 13 I like for Dignitas. And remember yesterday, end of the night, they were leading after the first 6 maps, and not only leading the scoreboard, but leading in kills. So they're putting their best foot forward to take things over. The storyline for me, the takeaway for today, FaZe is dominant and absolutely undisputed the best team in the world on Erangel. I'm putting that stipulation on it. They have to improve Miramar. They do have to improve Miramar, and with tomorrow being even more Miramar, they're going to have to go back to the hotel now. There's no time for funny times. They have to go through all these VODs today, see what the players are doing, see what other teams are doing, because, I mean, Miramar, it's been a struggle for them. They did not have one single good game, even though 2 of the circles were straight on top of them. I'd have to look more carefully at the specific decision-making. It's not that they're getting caught in transition, because a lot of time FaZe had position in the circle. I think it's that they're overcommitting to fights, and I won't even say that they're overextending. It's that they got third-partied, I think, twice in these occasions, and it's just like, there, we saw Hexity, I think it was, peek out early. Voxic gets a shot on him. He gets third party by Liquid of all teams. That's like the last team you want a third party when you're FaZe and you're leading the event and you know that they're going to turn 500 meters away, still finishing him off. It just seems that FaZe are I'm thinking they need to play a little more passively and not engage on fights quite so much, because it seems like that's been what's catching them. But look, I'm actually loving that there's a bit of instability for them on Miramar, because that's bringing teams like Dignitas back in, like Knights back in.
Completely opening the scoreboard.
Yeah, absolutely. And Liquid, who's had very consistent finishes on it, haven't been able to get a win, which is almost like unfortunate for them.
Yeah, but they're still up there.
Exactly. And their consistency on this, it brings them back in with a chance on day 3 that this could still go anywhere.
And this is what I said as well with the Hail Mary. I mean, once it goes bad for them where they don't know where they want to go, they just throw a Hail Mary, they get into the circle, they get third here, only 1 kill of course, but third, still 200 points from third. It's still mega amount of points here. It's going to throw them all the way up to top 5 again.
Yep, well the leaders at the end of day 1 are the winners of the last game on day 2, and it's Dignitas with Dave.